Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Again, everyone. Hare Rama Satakukti Vaishnavarinda Ki Jai. Fruska Goranga retreat 2023 Ki Gora Premanande. This can stay here for a second. So, Hare Krishna, everyone. Nice to see you all. I'm having a severe case of deja vu. You know what is deja vu?
Yes.
I feel like we have been here before. Any of you here for the first time here in the camp? Oh, a few of you, okay. So you will not maybe appreciate this sense that some of us may be having. Next question is, how are we all with English language? Is everyone more or less okay if I don't speak too fast? Yes, sort of, kind of, yes. Good.
It seems we still don't have a translation organized.
It seems not. And if we need a translation...
Kome treba prevod na srpski?
So, what about, who, do we have a volunteer translator? You're a volunteer. Radhe Govinda Ki Jai. It's a yajna. Translation is a big yajna. Because you have to listen and simultaneously turn it into a different language without thinking, without taking anything in, just have it. Very special challenge. Okay. Hare Krishna. So good, as we're arranging our translation, I want to thank you all for coming, and I want to beg your patience in advance, because the plan of what I want to do is unfolding as we speak. We have a title of our, I guess we can call it a seminar, we could call it a workshop, but that sounds like work, and this is supposed to be not about work. This is supposed to be about play. The play is the thing, they say. The play is the thing. There's a verse in the Bhagavad Gita, maybe before I start this, I should offer pranati. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunnididam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam yena bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamakyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yukta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tan Sajivam Sabhaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. He Krishna karuna sindhu dinabandho jagatpate gopesha gopika kanta radha kanta namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, good. Uddhava Mitra, do you want to join us? Please feel free to come and sit. Right, so what is our topic, you may be wondering. Our topic is Yoga, the art of play. Yoga, you've all heard of yoga. So Krishna tells us in Bhagavad Gita, he told Arjuna, Yoga karnasu koshalam. Says yoga is the art of work. Srila Prabhupada's translation. Koshalam from kushala has many meanings, but Prabhupada translates it as art. Koshala, koshalya. Yoga, the art of work. Karma. So I want to a little bit make an adjustment to what Krishna says. I hope Krishna doesn't mind. And say the yoga, the art of play. But I feel justified in making this adjustment on the basis of another statement of Krishna, also in the Bhagavad Gita. he says, Yukta hara viharasya, yukta cheshtasya karmasu, yukta swapna vabodasya yogo bhavati dukkha. Yukta means engaged, it means appropriately engaged, we may say. It's related to the word yoga. And Krishna is speaking about balance in this verse. One who is appropriately engaged in a balanced way with respect to, and then he's giving 4 things. Ahara, which means consumption, broadly speaking, eating more specifically. Vihara. Vihara can be translated as recreation. Yukta hara viharasya. And then yukta cheshtasya karmasu. Balanced in the matter of endeavor, of activities. Yukta swapna. Balanced in the matter of sleeping. And avabodha, and being awake. Being balanced in the matter of being awake. In other words, not eating too much, not sleeping too much, not being awake too much, but hopefully being awake during the seminar. And being balanced in vihara, or recreation, play. Now, I think in Serbian and Croatian you say recreation is what? Rekreacija. You can say rekreacija. Rekreacija. And play. Igra. Zabava. Igra. Pastime. That's also okay. Igra. Huh? This is what happens when I ask somebody for a meeting. There's one here and there's one there, and then we have a whole debate.
Giocare in italiano.
Ah, there you go. Okay. Why not? So we have a few words for play. What I wanted to say is that in the English language, play means much of what you've just said, but it also has the meaning of performance, and so it's related to drama, and so you can perform a play in English, which means you're performing a drama, and the drama may be dramatic, it may be tragic, it may be comedy, it may be whatever it is, but it can be called a play. In Serbian and Croatian you have drama, yes, and predstava. Okay. Sounds good. So you might get a sense of where I'm going with this. I would like that we do some exploration of our drama tradition, but not only our drama tradition, but our own drama creation. Hare Krishna. Now let's see how many people will still be here after the end of this talk. Okay. Before we go any further, though, I think it's time for a little icebreaker. You know what an icebreaker is? Ice cream? Did I hear someone say ice cream? Sorry, there's no, I'm not offering ice cream. Icebreaker. How should we do this? My idea is the following. Just for a short time, a few minutes, each of you find one other person whom you don't know at all, preferably, or someone you just sort of know. Not someone you already know since 25 years. Okay? And share your stories, how you first met Hare Krishnas. Okay? Anybody not have a story of how you first met? Alright, so please just get together in groups of 2 and go for it. There's a camera running there, so maybe just maybe like 4 minutes each. Okay, can you switch? One of you is telling the other your story. Can you now switch and the other of you tell to the other your story, unless you've already done both? You were quick there. One more minute. Ding, 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 ding. It's so much fun to tell our story, isn't it? Especially this story, isn't it? Because I think in most cases, it's a story with a happy ending, right? Till now. So far, so good. We'll see where it's going from here. Perhaps it's a nice story because it's a story without an end. Or it's the beginning of a story. Yeah? So everyone, I see many smiles now. It's like something uplifting about hearing the meeting of devotees with devotees, isn't it? I won't tell you my story.
Tell us.
Huh? I told so many times. Don't know? All right. Maybe I should wait and that'll keep you. Okay, in brief, my story is I was a student at University of California in Berkeley. And it's a large university. And I began studying there in the previous yuga, 1969, and it must have been already the first day of school, first day I went to class. I saw and heard devotees on the street at the sort of main gate of the university. There was a group of devotees. They were singing and distributing Back to Godhead magazine, and they were smiling. They might have been there, but I didn't get close enough to the devotees at that time to get to know individual devotees. True confession. Because I think Fridayananda Maharaj would have been there. But at the time I thought, wow, that's far out. Must be something Indian. And it looks like a good thing. But I'm a student. So I have to focus on my study. I'm not going to, whatever it is, Hare Krishna. But they were there every day. And not just for a few minutes, and not for an hour, but for 5, 6 hours a day. Every day, 5 days a week, in that place. And on the weekends, they were in a different location, 3 blocks away, where many students would. There was a lot of activity. Basically 7 days a week you would see and hear the Hare Krishnas. There they were. So that's how I first met the devotees. Okay, then Act 2, right? That was Act 1. Act 2, or Scene 1, Scene 2, is I was on Telegraph Avenue. It would have been a Sunday afternoon, and there was one devotee, a brahmachari, quite tall, as I remember, with a very big smile, and he had a big bowl. I think he was kind of holding the bowl like this, and it had fruit salad in it, and it was with some kind of sticky sauce, and he was walking down the street with a big smile and a big spoon, and whoever would take, he would give into the hand some fruit salad like that. So I held out my hand and I received, and that was my first experience of Prasanna. And I still remember the taste. And I still remember the smile of this devotee who was distributing. Okay, just Scene 1 and Scene 2, that's enough. So, no. But there was one devotee. What was his name? Hari, something like that. He was an African American devotee. He was playing Madanga all the time, and such a smile. And I thought, these people, they're always smiling. There's got to be something about them. I don't think they're on drugs. If they were on drugs, they would be more strange, but they were bright, so I saw that. Yeah, eventually I took them back to Godhead magazine, and I read 2, 3, 4 pages, and I thought, okay. I remember it was an article about the creation of the universe from Mahavishnu. And I thought, right, okay. Pretty far out. That's about as far as I got with the reading. And I continued with my studies. Yeah. It would be another 2 years before I would search for the devotees. And find the devotees very quickly. In Germany. And the rest is history. Hare Krishna. So, okay. You have shared your stories. Now, what to do with these stories? I suppose one thing we could do is think about how we might perform these stories. Silence. Suddenly everyone goes silent. Everyone gets very grave. Perform. Yes, what if you would perform these stories? Because what is performance? performance means you are, in a sense, reenacting. You're doing what was done before again, and you're doing it in some sort of, we could say, a kind of formal arrangement, where there's an audience, there's someone to watch. Now, it doesn't have to be a terribly formal arrangement. There's such a thing as street theater. Anyone here has done some street theater? Yes? Oh, very good. Street theater, you just make it happen, right? You start something happening, and then off you go, and people are curious, and they're wondering, what is this about? Yes, Manidhar Prabhu used to tell us a kind of street theater they used to do in Prague. He and a few friends, they just liked to do weird things, crazy things. This was before he was Manidhar, okay? So he gave one example I remember is he and his friends would, on the street, they would see what we call a manhole. You know, it's where they have an opening for someone to climb down and fix and clean the sewers or something. It's a manhole, right? You know what I'm saying? So they would go to this manhole and they would stand around it and they would look down. And they would just keep looking down in the manhole. And then others would come because they thought, oh, what's happening here? Something must be happening. So they would come and they would look down the manhole. And after a while, there would be a whole group of people looking down the manhole. And then Manidhar and his friends, they would just leave. Hare Krishna. At this point, you're starting to think, what is this Swami talking about? Is this a Hare Krishna Sangha or something else? Please be patient. So performance can be without a great deal of planning, right? There is something called improvisational theater. Improvise. You know the word improvise? Everyone knows? Improvise. To improvise is to make something up on the spot, make it happen, perform. Improvisational theater. It's a big thing in, I suppose, here in Europe as well, but in America, people pay to see improvisational theater. My niece, I have a niece in New York, she's a professional improvisational performer, and she and her now husband were doing improvisational theater together. And the now husband of my niece decided, without telling my niece in advance, he decided to formally propose to her on stage. You don't think that's kind of far out? I thought it was kind of far out. So, okay, you've told your stories, and could we think of how you might perform your story? So what I want you to do now is, for a few minutes, discuss with each other the same with whom you've talked previously. And now I want you to do a little brainstorm, to think how you might dramatize in such a way that would be somehow highlighting or emphasizing or putting in sharp relief some particular aspect of your experience. What is it that was especially memorable? Now this can be, it doesn't have to be comedy, but it could be comedy. I know devotees tend to, when we think of drama, especially in temples, devotees make some drama and everyone makes it into a slapstick comedy. You know what is slapstick? Slapstick. Anyway, it's kind of just silly comedy, right? It doesn't have to be that. It can be serious, or it can be melodramatic. It can be. I don't think it will be tragic because I think it's a happy story, like that. So. Is this okay? Can we think about this? And maybe you can make some notes on your brainstorm. Is that all right? Yes. One or the other. You can decide between yourselves which one you want to work on. Okay? All right? Some of you have something to write with, and many of you don't have something to write with, and the arrangement was going to be that if for those who don't have something to write, there would be something to write with. But I don't see much from Mani Prabhu. He said he would be. Huh? What are you waving at me? I don't know.
They can write on the phone. They can write on the phone. Each phone has the notes. Like.
Oh, everyone can write on their phone. Yeah, that's true. Everyone can write on their phone. I always forget about this possibility. Thank you. Okay, so for the next 10 minutes, see what you can come up with. All right? Now, let me add one thing. You're already going at it, I see. This, can we stop for a moment? Hare Krishna, Hare Bol. Just for a moment. So, performance can have many different features. One of them, of course, is dialogue. But there can also be physical movement, and physical movement can also be, it can be dance, it can be exaggerated pantomime, right? Like that. So keep that in mind as well. A performance can have props or no props. You know what a prop is? It's a physical something, anything. So you can add or subtract or indicate props. So keep in mind any and all possibilities. Right? Hare Krishna. get the impression you're getting into it. Yeah? Does anyone want to share with us something from what you're starting to come up with? It can be just a fragment of something, whatever. Anyone? Yes?
His story.
He's hiding behind you.
Maybe he was. Okay, I write.
You've written something? Okay. Do you want to give us a little hint of what?
We have four.
Četiri scene imamo.
Huh?
Can I speak in Croatian?
Oh,
Simple?
yes, go ahead.
Okay. Znači, Baktar Danijel iz Skoplja, znači, imao je 6-7 godina kad je došao kod tete i teče u Ohrid i vidio je knjige Srimad Bhagavatama, sve tri i Bhagavad Gitu i pregledao je slike. I vidio je plavog dječaka koji je negdje imao 4 ruke, negdje 2 ruke. Jako su mi se svidjele te slike. Scena 2, 14 godina, probao da čita te knjige, ništa nije razumio, ništa mu nije išlo da shvati, ali mu se jako svidio jogi sa tigrom, koga ide tigar napast, a njemu duša odlazi. I treća scena, znači 18 godina, susjeda mu pokloni put savršenstva i savršene pit, savršene odgovore. I kroz te male knjige on shvati šta je svjesnost i ode to ljeto odmah teče na Ohrid i uzme sve one knjige i u 2 mjeseca pročita cijeli 3. Bhagavatam i cijelu Gitu i u septembru odluči da ide tražiti baktu u Skoplje i Hari Bol.
So that's nice. You've just sort of identified 4 scenes. That's nice. Now, in my mind, I'm trying to use my imagination, how that could be embellished. So the first scene was seeing a book, and in the book seeing pictures. So one way, and one of the pictures was of Vishnu with 4 arms. So now one could, I imagine, suddenly then there's a flash to an image of Lord Vishnu with 4 arms, and you are
Soul remember.
huh?
Soul remember.
Yeah.
Lord.
Something like that, you know, and that would be a sort of additional dramatic moment. So one element of drama can be exaggeration, but exaggeration it's kind of a negative word in English. You know the word exaggeration? Kako se kaže? I know that's going to happen. 20 people say something and all I hear is
Preterivanje.
Preterivanje. Tak? Da. Preterivanje.
Hiperbola.
Preroivanje. Right. Anyway, you get the idea. But there, in classical Sanskrit drama, and that's something I hope we can speak a bit about, just some points here and there. What is the sort of main dynamic? What is the main thing that is happening on the stage? The performance is enacting, is making happen rasa, the experience of rasa. So everything is focused for that purpose. It's all for rasa. And there are different rasas. We know this from Srila Rupa Goswami. And really, this is what a major part of the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is about. It's about how bhakti rasa is enacted, is experienced by devotees in relation with the Lord. And Srila Rupa Goswami in particular was a dramatist. He wrote 3 dramas. Did he write more than 3 dramas? He wrote the Lalita Madhava, the Vidagdha Madhava, initially as one drama, I believe, and then he divided, and a 3rd drama called Danakeli Komali. Yes. He wrote about drama in a work called the Nataka Chandrika. And we'll say something about some of the content of that. But for now, I just wanted to point this out from this one example. Does anyone else want to share some snippet, something from, doesn't have to be the whole story. Yes, Prabhu, please. I need to be reminded of names. I'm getting old and my brain is not remembering.
Hare Krishna, Mahapurushika, should I speak in English or in Serbian?
You can speak in the beautiful Serbian, Croatian mix, or however you are inclined, and I'll get a translation here.
Ja sam odlučio baš da ispričam ovo zato što...
Oh, there are others who need English, yes. Can you speak in English?
Yeah, I could speak in English. I decided to tell my story because it's exactly a specific rasa. Everyone can tell the story how devotee wanted to connect him with the Krishna consciousness, and my story is how devotee didn't want to connect him with Krishna consciousness. And that's why I decided to tell my story. It was in the high school, and that time I had hair like him, and I played the drums in the group, and I was in one acting group in my town, and there was one person, his name is Nimai Pandit. He was already going to the temple. I didn't know that. So now you will imagine the scene. On the break between the classes, he sits on his place in the table. He puts the Walkman, and he has the pot with the kitsri from a temple, and he starts to eat. Everyone goes out, and he starts to listen and to eat his kitsri from the temple. And from the Walkman, you can hear and I came to him. No, please, what you are listening? And he, no, it's not for you. He just continued to eat his kitchen and I said, okay. And I left for my friends to, outside. So he didn't want to tell me what it is, about what it is, and he considered that. And then I tell that story to my spiritual master, Shirohimi Sutta Prabhu, and then his reaction was he underestimated, something like that. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Underestimate.
Yes, yes. I wanted to tell this story because it's completely opposite what probably everyone else would say.
Oh, that's good, thank you. So, how would you describe that rasa? What kind of rasa is that? Huh? What? Tragic? I can't hear something. Rejection. Oh, okay. Shant. Forced Shantarasa. Oh, it looks like we're getting a new category of Shantarasa. Forced Shantarasa. That's going to be interesting. We may have to put together an appendix to the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Special cases of rasa from the Balkans. Okay. So what are we doing in this? I don't want to call it a workshop. I want to call it a play shop. I want that we produce something out of this. That we produce, that we make, that we prepare some short performances. And what are the performances going to be about? They're not going to be about how you met the devotees, unless you want to do that. We could do that. But here's what I'm thinking, here's my proposal. And that is that we take pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan, killing demons. Everyone likes to hear about Krishna killing demons, right? And the special thing here is we want to bring into our presentation of one of these. We'll have different groups. One of these leelas is to somehow highlight the lesson that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives us from the particular demon that has been killed. Now I'm getting some blank stares. So just very briefly, I'll try to explain. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in his Chaitanya Shikshamrita, and possibly elsewhere, offers us a way of appreciating all of the identities, how the killing of these different demons described in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam can be remembered as embodying different anarthas in the heart, right? The heart is where things may be that we do not want to be there, and how to get rid of them, how to remove them. Well, Bhaktivinoda Thakur suggests one way is to remember, to meditate on the Lord's pastimes of killing different demons, each one embodying a particular anartha. So anarthas, but it can also be something sort of external to ourselves. But just as an example, Putana. Does anyone remember? What is Putana representing or embodying? Yes, Madhavana.
False guru.
Yes, false guru. And uncontrolled mind. Okay. So that's Putana. What about Shakatashura? Anyone know?
Laziness.
Laziness. Idleness. Okay. Yes, lethargy is listed. Lethargy, laziness, and carrying the burden of a cartload of old and new bad habits. Right? How about Trinavarta? Trinavarta, the whirlwind demon, the grass whirling demon, Trina means grass, false pride that comes from material scholarship, that's the one I have to watch out for especially, which leads to bogus philosophies. Okay. Nalakuvara and Manigriva. They weren't exactly demons, but they do represent something. Anyone remember? Pride due to material opulence, yes. Which is rooted in the madness for wealth. Anybody have this problem? Wealthy, I know you have so much wealth, material wealth, you don't know what to do with it, right? Vatsasura. Who's Vatsasura? I can't pronounce it. Vatsasura. The calf demon? What's the calf demon? A childish type of mentality which gives rise to a type of greediness which results in a wicked type of mischievousness. Okay? So, childish mentality leading to greediness, which results in a wicked type of mischievousness. You know what is mischief? Mischief? Now don't all tell me at once. What's the Serbian for mischief?
Nestašu.
Nestašu. Šluk. Nestašu. Nestašluk. Right. Okay, so this is just a little preview. There's more. There's Bakasura, there's Agasura. Agasura is just cruelty and violence. There's Brahma Vimohan. Brahma is not a demon. Denugasura, gross materialistic intelligence, ignorance of spiritual knowledge. Kaliya, brutality and treachery. Forest fire, intercommunal discord among Vaishnavas. There's two forest fire pastimes mentioned. The second one, disturbance of religious principles and interference with religious people, what? Who are atheists. No, that doesn't make sense. Sorry. Pralambasura. What did Pralambasura look like? Can someone help me out to remember? Cowherd boy? He's a cowherd boy? Oh, that's okay. Lusty inclinations, desire for personal gain and honor. Then there's, of course, Indra, making trouble. This is about demigod worship and the tendency to think, I am supreme. Nanda Maharaj captured by Varuna, thinking that spiritual life can be enhanced by intoxication. Okay. Shankachuda, the conch shell demon, proneness toward acquiring name and fame and desire for sensuous enjoyment under the plea of devotion. Aristasura, Arishta, that's it, Arishtasura, pride arising from indulging in false religions invented by cheaters, which causes neglect of devotion service. And two more, there's Keshi demon, the feeling that I am a great devotee and spiritual master. And Vyomasura, the demon in the sky associated with thieves and other rascals, and with people who put themselves forward as avatars. So these are the various demons or opponents of Krishna, and we want to dramatize. We want to dramatize these killings. And we want to do this in such a way that would be educational for the audience. So what this is going to require is first that we review, because I know you've all read Krishna book, yes? Everyone's read Krishna book. 10th canto, yes. When was the last time you read? So now's a chance to review, and then we can work on how we would perform, how we would dramatize, how would we present these events, these leelas of Krishna, because they're dramatic. Drama, one thing you can say in general about drama performance is there's some sort of conflict involved. There's a conflict and it needs to be resolved. And the question then is, how is it going to be resolved? With Sanskrit drama, the sort of at least as important, if not more important, principle is, as I mentioned before, rasa. The sense of the mood that's created. And in particular with bhakti rasa, we are wanting to awaken our relation with Krishna. Does anyone here want to awaken your relation with Krishna? No? Some more, some less. Some of us are kind of, yeah, maybe someday. Maybe someday. Some lifetime. So does this sound like something you would like to be involved in? Is this something we would like to do? It's not your usual seminar where you just sit and listen, right? You may have to do some thinking, active engagement, maybe a bit of writing, and before that some bit of reading. So, if I remember I just looked very briefly at the schedule, and if I remember correctly, we do not have this tomorrow, this same seminar, but we'll have the next day. So I'm hoping that some of you will come back the day after tomorrow. Is tomorrow Ekadashi? No. Oh, it's next week, right? Okay. So I hope you'll come back, and you're welcome to prepare. I wanted to, as I said, we want to do yoga of play, and so I don't want to assign homework for you. In English, we have the word homework. That's what the students have to do when they go home from school. They have to do homework. We don't want to give you homework. We want to give you home play. Home play, okay? And the home play is that you read. I think you'll be able to, everyone has phones nowadays, so you may be able to find through the internet. You can just read the summary. You can read, if you can get Krishna book. It's translated in Serbian, no?
Yes.
Yeah, so you can read, and you can choose one of these pastimes and just read through it and start to think, how would I dramatize? How would I perform? What would I do to arrange? If I had unlimited facility, or if I had limited facility, if all I had was a bare stage, and it's me and maybe one other person. It's me, the demon, and one other person, Krishna. Or however you want to imagine. Start churning in your mind how it is that you would present this. And be thinking also about who you might be presenting this for. You might want to present it in schools, for example, right? You might want to present for your grandmother, whatever. For children, yeah. For politicians, huh? Yes, for national theater. You can enter your performance into a competition. Many possibilities right there. Okay, and you can make some notes from what after you start to generate ideas. And then we'll continue with this day after tomorrow. Is that all right? Does this sound like something worth doing? Yes? I'm getting a thumbs up from Ananda Vrindavan. Do you want to make any additional suggestions for thinking about this, preparing Ananda Vrindavan? No? Not at the moment. Okay. Ananda Vrindavan is going to help us. She's coaching. Hare Krishna. All right, so I believe, according to the schedule, we will come to a happy end at this time. I don't know what is scheduled next, but something. Maybe it's nap time. It's that time of afternoon. Okay. So I will say thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.